from stampingandperfection.com. Thank you so much for joining me today. I wanted to share a quick video to show you how to use digital images, because digital stamps are fabulous because they're very inexpensive compared to regular stamps, and you don't have to figure out a way to store them. You just create a folder in your picture file and store them there on your computer so they don't take up any physical space in your craft room. And you can use them over and over. You can resize them to get them to fit in the space that you want them to fit. You can do all kinds of things. So I've really been enjoying using digital images. Excuse me. So I thought I would do a quick video just to show you a couple of basic things so that you could create a digital, not create the image, but open the digital image, resize it, layer it with other digital images, add a sentiment, and then print it out on your computer. So what I have here, we'll create this right here. What I have here is my Word program. I'm going to open a blank document. I work on just a regular PC. So if you have an Apple computer, you would do this in the corresponding program on your Apple product. And I find it like I have Photoshop Elements. I could do a lot more in Photoshop Elements, but the simplest way to do this, I find, is just to use a regular Word document. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here to Insert, and I'm going to click on Insert, and I'll click on Pictures from this device. So when I open this up, actually, let's say I go to my picture file. In my picture file, I have folders for each of the companies where I've purchased digital images. Today I'm going to be using the TLC Designs digital images from their Snow Family collection. There are 2 sets of Snow Family digital stamps and a set of digital papers. There is the Snow Family Fun digital paper set, the Snow Family Fun Mail, M-A-I-L, set, and then the Snow Family Fun Tree set. And I have all 3 in this one folder. So I've unzipped the file, and you can see I have all my images in this folder. So I want to create, I really love this little bird. So I decided I wanted to add him to my image, but I want to make it a little interactive, so I'm going to put him on a wobble. Notice that I have a JPEG image, JPEG or JPG. When I just put my mouse over this, you see this comes up. It tells me the dimensions, and I believe that's in pixels, and it tells me the size in bytes, in this case kilobytes. Then I also have a PNG file, and I'm going to select the PNG file because notice this black around it. That means that PNG file has a transparent background. If I choose the JPEG, it's got a white background, and when I try to layer things together, that white background is going to get in the way. So I pick the PNG file, and then this pops up. This is one of the layout options. Like I could go up here and click on this, and I'm doing a wrap text, but since this popped up, I can just click this and do it this way. So I'm going to pick the square one, and I'm essentially allowing text to wrap around this, but it also allows me, when I click anywhere on the thing, on the document, it allows me now to move this all over the page. I can also resize this. The easiest way to resize. Now, if I right click on this image with my mouse, I'm just clicking the right side of the mouse, you scroll down here and you see size and position. If I click on that, I can adjust the size of this because here's the height in inches. And if I adjust the size of this height, it automatically adjusts the width because it's trying to maintain the aspect ratio, meaning it's trying to maintain the size of the height relative to the width, so that I don't just increase the height, elongating the image, or I don't just increase the width, making it short and squatty. So I increase them both by the proper ratio, and I don't have to think about that. The computer will do it for me. Okay, so that's one way to do it. The easiest way is to use one of these corner circles here, and you just push it in, and that maintains the aspect ratio. If you use the ones on the side, it'll make it wider but not taller. If you use the top and bottom ones, it'll make it taller but not wider, and this rotates it. So like you can tip him if you want to, you know. So I'm going to put him just like that. So that's one image. Now I want to insert, go back up to pictures, click this device. Now I want to insert this mailbox. Now notice again, I have the JPEG image and the PNG. I want the PNG. If I use the JPEG, then it's going to affect when I layer things, because I want to layer things. So again, with the text wrapping, I'm picking this square one, and then I'm just going to click outside the image, and now I can move it around. I'm going to use the corner to make this smaller. So I'll just make this smaller, just like this. And I can right click on this image to see exactly how big it is. And I can see it's 3.68 inches tall. So since my card is going to be 5.5 tall, that works. And it's 2.03 inches wide, my card is going to be 4.25. So that's pretty perfect. I have a die I want to use. I'm just going to click OK there. I have a die I'm going to use for to create snowbanks. TLC Designs, which means to live creatively, has fantastic die sets, and they have interactive dies in all kinds of like frame shapes. But what I love about their die sets is you don't get just one die, you get a whole bunch of dies that you can do all kinds of things with, so the possibilities are endless. And the prices are really good. The prices are not astronomical, so that's a wonderful thing. TLC Designs also has clear stamps with great images and sentiments, and they have the digital stamps, which I have been enjoying playing with. And I do have some of their clear stamps. I have several of the die sets, and I've been playing a lot with some of the digital stamps. So I've really been enjoying this little company. This has been a lot of fun. So I'm going to take this little bird and I'm going to bring him down here. I want to layer him on top. But notice what happens when I try to put him on top, he actually goes behind. So I'm going to right click on this bird and I'm going to scroll down here to bring to front. So that'll bring him to the front. So I could put him on the mailbox, and now it looks like he's in front of the mailbox. So I'm going to put him back up here because usually the birds land on the posts. And I'm going to make him a little bit smaller so he actually fits on the post. And then I'm going to click. Now it looks like an image that the artist drew that way because it's so perfectly layered. I love that. And I was playing around earlier today, just to see what I wanted to layer together. And I definitely want to bring in this sentiment. I'm going to bring in the sentiment with that is a PNG with a clear background. I'm going to resize it. I'm just pulling on the corner. Oops, that just flipped it over. Didn't mean to do that. That flipped it over, and I'm hitting Control Z a couple times. There we go, because I accidentally flipped it over and got the mirror image. So I hit Control Z a couple times till it went back to what I had before. So okay. So now I can. Oops, I did not click this. Notice that it's not letting me move it because I didn't click that text wrap. So I could center this above, or I could put it down here. I was playing around with it earlier, and I kind of liked it here. And I don't want it too big. I love this sentiment, be full of joy, and I think it's a really fun, very festive font. So I think the type that is used is really clever. Now I do also want to add, I'm going to go back up to pictures. I really want the bow. And again, I'm going to pick the PNG, and I know it's a PNG because it's got the black background. Click the text wrapping. When I forget, it doesn't move, so I know I've got to go back up and do that. And maybe I'll just make this a tiny bit smaller. I like big bows for Christmas decorating, and of course that's going to be red. Alright, so I love this. This is going to be my card front. I'm going to use the TLC Designs Land and Sea die set because it's got like 4 different landscape things and a couple little tiny dies, but one of them is like hills, perfect snowbanks, and what I love about it is that it's got a little stitch detail. So I really like the little stitch detail. So that is that. Now another thing I want to do, because I want to put this on a wobble, I right clicked on this bird and I'm going to hit copy. Then I'm going to just hit paste. I'm going to do it 5 times because I might put more of these little birds in. And then I can, they're already, since I'm just copying the image I have, I don't have to re-click that text wrap because it's already done for this image in this document. Okay, so I'm going to spread those out and I'll color those in, and I can actually use my brother's Scan and Cut to cut those out. And what I like about, one of the things I like about TLC is they're not selling coordinating dies for any of their stamps. Instead, you know, you can use your electronic die cutter. And personally, I thought that that Brothers Scan and Cut was so much money, but I can't believe how expensive dies have gotten, and I have stopped purchasing coordinating die sets. They're just so cost prohibitive now. But the dies that I do purchase are the ones like they have at TLC, where they have interactive dies, so I can build really cool cards that move and the pieces interact with each other, or they have gorgeous frames that I can make frames, or I can make pretty background edges. Like, there's lots of beautiful things, and the die sets are packed full of goodies, so there are other things that you can do there too. So those are the kinds of dies that I am buying, and I think that's going to be it. Now suppose that I wanted to take this bird. I can actually flip this bird around and make the mirror image. I think I can do it right here. Oh, yep, that's all I have to do. And I did change him. I just flipped it over. I probably should use the corner one. Now suppose that I decide, oh, maybe I'll throw that tree in there. So I'm going to insert from this device. I'm going to pull up the Christmas tree. Oh, that holly's so pretty too, isn't it? I'm going to pull up the Christmas tree, and let me pick the JPEG for just a minute. So I'm going to pull up the Christmas tree. I'll make the Christmas tree. Whoops, forgot to do the text wrapping. I don't know why I'm forgetting that. It's like something I don't do. So now it's in front, right? And you can see that because I picked the JPEG, that white background is interfering with my image. I could send it to the back, and it will go to the back, and then that white image will just be behind it. I would also have to bring this to the front, because that tree is actually going to interfere with that also. Okay, now let's say, you know, the tree's nice, but I think I just want to do the mailbox. Right click, cut, gone, or Control Z on a PC works also. You just hit Control Z a couple times and it'll undo what you just did. That's the undo function. So that is that. Now, so I inserted pictures. I clicked the text wrapping so that I could move them around the page. Then I resized them just by pulling on one of the corners, and I did move them around the page, and then I layered them and put some images in front of others, some images behind others, and I added a sentiment as well. So now I've got my card, and I can actually just color this in and cut it down to size. I can add my snowbanks with the Land and Sea die, and then I'll probably add some grasses or something like that. So there is so much more we can do. We can erase parts of images if we want to. We can do all kinds of things like that. Mostly I would do most of that in a photo editor program, like I have Photoshop Elements that I quite like, so you can do a lot of stuff in there. But you can do a ridiculous amount of stuff just using Microsoft Word or whatever the Apple version of that is. So just keep that in mind. You don't have to buy anything special to use digital images. So I really like that. And I like that the next time I use this, I might want this smaller, or I might want this bigger, or, I might want to print it on watercolor paper. Because all I'm going to do now is I'm going to click this and hit print, and this will send it to my printer. I just have a Brother inkjet. It's an all-in-one. It was very inexpensive. And I use it to scan things. Sometimes when I color an image in, I will scan it and then I will print out color versions so that I can mass produce cards from that image that I created. Because I'm going to send out a bunch of Christmas cards over the next few days and I don't have time to color all the images. So I'm going to color this once, scan it in, then I will print out the number that I need, cut them down to size and just slap them onto my card front. And it will still be an image I colored, it just won't be the original. The original might get framed. You know what I'm saying? I'll send it to my mother. It'll be a gift. What's a gift when you put a frame around it? So plus then she'll have a decoration from year to year. So that's pretty fun. So anyway, that's that. Now other things you could do, you could add some text on here. Like my daughter and her boyfriend just bought their first house together. I could put their street address on this. How fun would that be? I could type that right on just by adding a text box. So, you can add some lines and add some grass pieces, whatever you want to do, you can do. So there are all kinds of things you can do with digital images that you can't do with regular stamps, which is kind of why I started falling in love with them. Plus they're really inexpensive. Like for a couple of dollars or $3 or $4, you can get a whole set of stamps. And you saw when I pulled that up all the other images in there. And plus there are background papers that coordinate, and I could put a piece of background paper here and not even bother with creating a background on my own. But I do love to do the backgrounds, so I'm going to do that. So I'm going to go color this up, create a card out of it, and share that with you on my blog at stampingimperfection.com. I'm going to put all the links to the TLC Design shop below. It's just www.tlcdesigns.shop. But I'll put the links to the stuff I've used here today below, and the dies that I'm going to use in my card making process, so that you can check that out. And do check out, I'll put their Facebook link below along with my Facebook link. Please stop by my blog at stampingimperfection.com and sign up for my newsletter. I've got a big project going on that I can't wait to share with you as soon as it's done. And make sure you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. Make sure you click that bell so you get notifications every time I upload a new video. And my friends, have a wonderful holiday season and a good end to 2020. Be well, stay safe. Thank you so much for watching.